Steven, I think they're ready for us. You ready?
I guess.
So, so what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of We Got Next. This is going to be the super speedy edition for you guys. So don't worry, we're going to cover everything in the amount of time. Before we start off, of course, shout out to the
I
Roaring
know.
Tiger Club for the shirts they end up giving us. So we'll be shouting them out each time. But without further ado, just want to give you guys the rundown. We have the hot take. We're going to talk some Penn State stuff. We have a decent amount of finance stuff, but the big topic is going to be in sports because the division we're going to cover. One, Steven, what's been going on with Penn State?
Got some quick slants coming out. I don't even know like how many parts I'm doing. Probably like five, maybe. I did just a little overview. I ranked our opponents. Did a quick little thing on the hype heading into the season because there's a lot of it for Penn State football. They're at plus 2,500 right now for national championship odds, which is pretty solid. That'll go down as the season goes on. And I had a little bit of technical issues with the third one I put out, which was talking about the hype for the season. So I got to figure that one out. Next one is a little bit of a position breakdown, do all that kind of good stuff, and then last one will probably be I might try and get Jay Hill on or a guest or something like that. And then I'll probably do take a little break off. I might repost those ones, get a little more traffic, and then once your boy's gonna be in Mexico, by the way, next week. So I talked
I
about that
know, I
last
knew
week.
it was one of them.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in Mexico next week. So next week is gonna be a bye week.
Hmm.
Again, and then once August hits and camp rolls around, like second week of August or so, third week of August, whatever, we'll start really diving into things. It's like a month away.
I know, it's
We're
right
almost
around the
there.
corner.
We're almost there. So yeah, just a couple things put out. But in terms of Penn State football, a couple commitments here and there for recruiting, but nothing really going on. It is the summer. Um, there's a lot more going on in Northwestern than there is Penn State
I
football.
know, yeah.
But every time, bro, every time there's something that goes on like this at another university in terms of like, you know, allegations of like graphic stuff,
Hmm.
I get it. And I get it. People always got to bring up, you know, Jerry Sandusky
Sandy, yeah.
every time, Uncle Jerry,
Hmm.
every time. And it's like,
You
can't
can't
escape
get
it.
away. You
Can't
can't.
can't get away from it, man. So,
No,
but yeah, a couple quick slants. I'll repost them on Twitter, and a couple more coming out, and then we'll have more as the season approaches or as training camp approaches. Because
perfect.
a lot more storylines. All the preseason award lists will come out. Preseason All American list, preseason top 25 for AP. That's the only one that matters.
Hmm.
And then we'll get the ball rolling again.
Dope. So
Yep.
we're gonna jump into the hot takes that we have. The other thing is I will touch on the college football stuff when we get into the sports section because I have two things I want to ask Steven about college football that I've been hearing. The first hot take is Shohei Ohtani. So everyone knows the winter meetings is when his fat contract is supposed to come around. They're saying because he's a pitcher and a good hitter, he could see up to $500 million on this contract, which is unheard of money. But what are your thoughts? What do you think about that?
He deserves it. I
Yeah.
mean, I said it before, and I'll say it again. He's the best athlete on the planet right now because, I mean, especially like at a time right now in baseball where like everybody is better than they have been. The athletes
Hmm.
are better. Like hitting is better. I mean, dudes are hitting the ball just 1,000 miles an hour off the bat. Pitchers are crazy. And he's doing both at an like like elite level.
Hmm.
He's if you look at his stats, obviously he's leading the league in homers and batting 300, and I think like second or third in the league in RBIs, and he's tearing up there. His last outing on the mound wasn't great, but nonetheless, like 7-4. I think his ERA is like three something. So better at the plate than he is on the mound, but still like striking out like ten batters a game, which is nuts.
Insane. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's on pace for 60 something home runs, kind of similar to what Aaron Judge did last year, but Aaron Judge wasn't, you know, 7-4
Pitching.
on the mound. And
Exactly.
like people just don't understand what he's doing is like there's no equivalent in like it'd be like saying, yeah, Patrick Mahomes throws for 400 yards, four touchdowns, no picks, and has three sacks. But like he's not doing
Yes.
that. It's not
No,
like there's nobody else on the planet. Like you can
that can do.
basketball, is not the same. Like they don't have a choice but to play both sides of the floor. Some
Mm-hmm.
um so like
Some of them.
there's no comparison to what he's doing. Like it'd be
No.
like LeBron was playing basketball one night and then played football the next night. Maybe back in the day, like before our time, when the old heads were watching, when Deion Sanders would
Yeah.
play baseball and then hop on a flight or hop on a helicopter and go play football,
Football.
whatever.
Exactly.
But he's doing this all in one game. Like he's doing this all in one game. It's nuts.
That's
But yeah, he
different.
deserves
Yeah.
whatever he's gonna get. I mean, just give him a slice of a team, like whatever, like make him the commissioner of baseball, something, dude, because he's a global star. If
Mm-hmm.
he was like an American, it wouldn't be different because he'd still be worth that kind of money. But he's a global figure,
Mm-hmm.
especially over in Japan. Like you saw with the World Baseball Classic, it was nuts, nuts. Oh, I mean, there's a
Yo,
ton of
they
great,
were hyped for
right,
him.
bro. There's a ton of great Japanese players that have come up along, throughout the years. But he's that dude right now. He's the best player in the league. He's the best athlete on the planet, and he deserves every dollar that he's going to get,
Yeah.
which is all
So
guaranteed.
yeah. So the other part with that is, do you think he's gonna stay on the Angels or you think he's gonna
um,
go to another team?
I really want to see him move closer to the East Coast. Like, give me the
Mm-hmm.
West, and I'll be happy. Just put him on a team that we can watch on a consistent basis. Like I'm not, your boy's not signing up for 10:30 Angels, first pitch. I'm not doing that. Lakers, yes, I'll do that obviously, but like I'm not doing that for the Angels to see him bat like once every 45 minutes.
Yo,
Um,
you know how difficult that is? Like
yeah,
you just have and you don't get all the games. So I'd
no,
be having to download like
and
Fubo and all these other things just to find his one at bat.
and they suck.
Yes.
Like if they were a top team in the league or top team or leading the division or whatever, it'd be different because they'd be on ESPN or Fox or whatever all the time. But they suck. And Mike Trout's out for 48 weeks, so like
Again, this
they're
man is
gonna
out every single year.
they're gonna suck even more now. And
Yes.
I mean, Otani might hit 60 home runs, but they won't even be close to the wild card, let
Doesn't mean
alone win
shit.
the division. So, um, you know, I don't know what his people say he's going to stay and he doesn't care about the money because he's going to get a shit ton of money anyways. Even if he doesn't get 500 mil, he'll
Hmm.
get 300 at least.
Yeah.
But I wish he would come closer to the East Coast so we could at least see him play. And there's only like 4 teams that could probably afford him if it obviously the Yankees, they can afford anybody.
Yeah.
But like he might get $500 million. Half a
That's
billion dollars.
insane.
That
That's
doesn't even make
in,
this. That doesn't even make sense. Like only in sports.
only in sports. And they were questioning the salary cap. Once this happens, they're like, there's really no salary cap in baseball. So it's just one of those, can you pay your luxury tax? There's only a few teams that can pay that luxury tax. The Yankees are one of them, but I don't know. The Yankees are always fighting for those Japanese players. Sometimes it works, or they just go to California. So we'll kind of see if he ends up going to New York, because that'd be one of the few places I'd love to see him in the DC area, but that ain't happening anytime soon.
Nope. No.
So, other
No.
thing I wanted to jump into, just dive into some of the finance stuff because we were talking about that with Shohei Otani. First one is Microsoft and the court system. They have finally approved Microsoft to continue going forward to acquire Activision Blizzard. If you don't know what Activision is, they are the ones that own Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, StarCraft, and Candy Crush. To name a few, Overwatch is another one, and Diablo. So now Microsoft has that under them. Keep in mind, they also have an investment into ChatGPT. If you don't have Microsoft as a stock, you're doing something wrong. I was also doing a little bit more diving into everything. So the acquisition of Activision is an all cash transaction. So it's really just going to go straight through stocks and all that way. At a price per share of $95 of Activision, which values Activision at $68.7 billion. So for anybody out there, so they have that one. And then they have an investment of $10 billion in ChatGPT. So within those two, that's $78 billion they've put into acquiring new businesses. They also have LinkedIn. They also own Xbox. So if that doesn't tell you what their focuses are, you should know by that. What are your thoughts? Of course, like the video game world, you have kids, so you know about the games. Everyone knows Microsoft.
I don't actually. I don't. Dude, I haven't touched a video game in 10 years,
I
probably.
haven't.
Like,
Hmm.
I don't know. Like it was a big deal when we were youngsters, when we were like in our early teens. Um, I mean, you see it all the time. They're just so like it's just so different now.
Hmm.
So many games out there. There's so many systems as opposed to just having Xbox and PlayStation.
Yep.
That was
Yeah.
it. And like in the N64, if you had all three, bro,
You was rich.
you
You,
was
you was shit.
we all had one friend that had all three of them,
Hmm.
or they act like it was nothing.
Yep.
That was something. But there's just so many though these days. Like there's so many games. It's so hard to keep up with. I kind of want to keep my kids away from them because
Yeah.
like you just get so because like back in the day we didn't have Xbox Live. We didn't have like you couldn't play with everybody. Like you could do campaigns. And that was
Hmm.
like you did like
You were doing it on your own or with your siblings.
yeah, dude, Call of Duty campaigns before it became what it is was fucking oh dude, I'd be up all night.
Yeah.
Or like NCAA back in the day on just the regular Xbox before the 360,
Hmm.
Dynasty mode, Heisman mode,
You
whatever,
would
man.
be all night,
Be up until 1 a.m., 2 a.m., like
all the time.
all night in the summertime. So it's just like completely different now. You can play with kids, like the kids are streaming their games and shit like that. I don't even know what's going on with that, but there's just so much going on, and it's just there's so much money involved into it, and like athletes are getting involved. It's just like NCAA is coming back, so that's dope, right?
Yep.
It's like
They're
full.
trying to, of course, that whole
Oh yeah, the whole NIL thing is
yeah,
putting a damper on that, but Kobe's on the cover of 2K24 now,
that's a big
obviously,
thing.
obviously. But there's just like it's just I can't keep up with it. I don't even know what the hottest game is. It used to be Halo. It used to be Call of Duty. It used to be Madden. It used to be 2K, and there was like a tier system. Now it's dude. There's just
Hmm.
so many, and it's just there's a lot going on with video games. And
Yeah,
it's real too,
I know.
so real.
So the other thing I wanted to touch on, speaking of something that's real, they're starting to work on a new like credit score. So everyone knows, of course, about the FICO score, then the Vantage FICO score 3.0. Well, the company I work for and a couple other companies, they've been working on the Vantage score 4.0. And with that, so you're probably wondering what even makes up the FICO score. Most of the times it's been like your student loans, your car payments, mortgages, and things like that that they would factor in. But now with the Vantage, score 4.0, that'll include utility bills, rent, you paying for your phone, which is a good thing because for those that don't necessarily have mortgages or were in the hole with student loans, you have other ways to kind of make up your score. Is the phone bill the best? And I don't think so. I think rent's a good one for those that are in an apartment for like numerous years. I think that other bills of that nature can be helpful. So they're going to include that into like your mortgage and everything. So I just wanted to put that out there because it's something that's going to roll out more. The other thing, speaking of the housing, is the CPI index. So that came out today and it came in lower than expected. So people were hyped for that. It was supposed to come in at 3.1%. It came in at 3%. Doesn't seem like that much, but when you see what the chair and everyone is doing, the FOMC is doing, continuing to raise interest rates. You're seeing that the inflation is going down. That's the big thing that they were looking for. Additionally, with that, I brought this up probably a year or two ago to focus on Singapore and the Singaporean dollar. That's something that's become important because if you look at the US dollar, then you look at BRICS. If you don't know what that is, that's kind of the various different countries that have been coming together. Russia is one of them, China's another one, and Brazil's another one. They've been coming together to kind of create their own type of currency that they all can end up using because the dollar's kind of falling off. You see how much we've been just blowing money trees to create more dollars. So the dollar's been falling and the Singaporean dollar has been increasing. So that's something, again, I want to reiterate because you'll start to see that go up. I've been mentioning before that the Singaporean dollar has continued to go up because of how much import and exporting that goes on and how strong their currency is, and they don't have to print so much of it. So monitor that. I'm gonna swing now into the cryptocurrency world just for a quick second so we can finish the show with the sports. And there's two that I want to mention to everyone. The first one is DGods. So DGods should be coming out season 3. They're going to be doing an art upgrade. So also pay attention because youth will be impacted, the points will be impacted. And then dust, they're saying, is something that we'll see an increase. The last time I checked, dust was sitting at $2.49. And then on the other side of this is the heist. So I play the heist damn near every single day. I now have 5 chimps. At one point, I had like 1 gorilla and then like 3 or 4 chimps. It's a super easy game because all you have to do is just click in the morning, send them to a spot.
Don't even bother. Don't even bother, dude. Just keep it.
But the reason why I said all this is we're in season 1. Season 2 is supposed to come out next month, and they're going to be adding orangutans to that. So that's just going to be another. So that's going to be adding another animal to the mix with all of it, and then we have a SBL token. So it's a Solana based token that you can end up accruing when you have your different chimps or girls or whatever, and you gain Nana. So short for banana. Right now, you can end up using that to either trade and exchange it in for USD or whatever, or you can use it for in-game cosmetics or try to do recruitments and stuff. If you want to know more about that, just let me know and I'll end up diving more into that. But I really want to kind of go into the sports aspect of everything. First thing, and we'll stick on the money side, Kristaps Porzingis did just agree to an extension of 2 years, $60 million. What are your quick thoughts?
I mean,
60 million.
he hasn't done in years, and he gets 2 years, $60 million extension.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where to start with that one. I'm not even going to worry about that. It's like, stay healthy, and he's a 22-10 guy.
Yeah.
But like, that's probably all you need, you know?
Mm-hmm. So my next thing that I want to talk about before we go into the summer league, and it's an event that I realize I enjoy a lot, and it's the home run derby. I was watching. Listen, I'm gonna give you my quick sports betting that I did, and it's so embarrassing when I say it out loud. So there are 8 contestants in the home run derby. In the beginning, I bet 3 people. I bet Robert Jr., Julio Rodriguez, and I was like, let me go at Adley Rutschman. First off, Adley Rutschman put up a hell of a lot in the first 27. Like, you would have thought that was going to be enough. Homeboy said, nah, you know what? We're just going to top you. So Adley was out. Adley was like plus 1,700. So I was like, all right, that had good odds for me to end up doing it. Didn't happen. Robert Jr. ended up losing. That didn't happen. I was like, Julio Rodriguez, he got out. So I said, all right, it was in the finals. It was Randy against Vladdy. I was like, cool, let me go with Randy. He was doing good the other round. So I put a bet on Randy. Randy lost to Vladdy. So I had, there were only 8. I put 4 bets, all 4 lost.
Of course. As they should.
That's exactly how it happens. But I said all that because the home run derby is one of the better all-star-esque events that I actually watched. It used to be the slam dunk contest was in there, but that kind of fell off. But when you see they are hitting bombs, and then what you put a time limit on, some of them hit 40. Julio Rodriguez hit 41 home runs in 3 minutes. And then, yes, you have like an additional minute. But what are your thoughts on the home run derby?
I like it better when it was not timed.
Mm-hmm.
There's no breaks. Like, sure, like there's like a limit on, because there was dudes who were just swinging. It would take forever. Yep. Shout out to that kid who got nailed with 118 mile line drive.
Like straight in the head.
Like I said it to you. Probably shouldn't say it out loud, but like if you can touch it, you can catch it. Like, put that glove up. Put that glove up, my guy. But shout out to that kid. So hopefully he's all right because he didn't look good.
No, my man got nailed.
But yeah, I mean, just nukes, bro, out of the park, nukes. Like, and that'd be a good event to go to because the chance of you getting catching something are pretty good.
Yeah.
I honestly forgot it was happening, and I didn't know who was in it till I saw it come across, and I instantly thought, oh, Vlad Guerrero Jr. is going to win this because he hits just moonshots and he just hits everything in the strike zone. So, and Rutschman, hit a shit ton. Like that's got to be so exhausting.
Bro, he hit 27. You would think that you would win. He didn't even come close to first.
I wonder who's under more pressure. Probably the pitcher, right?
Yeah, because if you throw a bad pitch in 3 minutes.
That reminds me of when I was coaching Mason's Little League and I was pitching for those kids. The pressure's on, man. I mean, those kids are 4 4, 5, 6, whatever it is. You have
Hmm.
to like those right down the middle, and like same thing with the same thing. It's exact same thing, exact
Yeah.
same process. But yeah, I watched it. It's super impressive what they can do because like there's not too many people who can hit a ball that far
Yeah.
consistently, and you gotta be not be winded after hitting for what like a minute and a half or so.
Hmm.
So shout out to those guys. Shout out
Straight.
to real.
Yeah. So I want to do a quick take with you, and then we'll dive into the NFL point. So I saw this on Twitter, and we were talking about like the brightest future teams in the league in NBA. So the options were the Spurs, the Rockets, the Pistons, or the Thunder. Who do you think has the brightest future out of those four?
I'll probably say either the Pistons or the Thunder. I think the Spurs obviously with Wemby. I'm just gonna call him Wemby from now on because everybody else
Yeah.
does, and I'm gonna try and go down
Yeah.
that path. And I can say it, but it's just easier. The Rockets, they have a really good core, but um, yeah, I just don't really trust the Rockets. The Thunder have 800 picks over the next 10 years.
Dog. Oh my gosh.
They're gonna trade those picks for players and do all that, and they're gonna draft high and keep doing that. So they're gonna build a roster. I love the Pistons. They're signing guys to extensions now and getting that out of the way. Cade Cunningham is one of the better young players in the league, and hopefully he's healthy heading into the season. I like Jaden Ivey,
Yes.
Jalen Duran. They got a really good young nucleus. Monty Williams, new head coach.
Hmm.
Love what he did with that corny ass team in Phoenix. So, Spurs, I would say Thunder, Pistons, Spurs, Rockets.
So
What is that like? Do I think those teams are gonna make the playoffs this year? The Thunder,
no.
because they have Shy, whatever. But
Yeah.
everybody else, no. I mean, I have
Yeah.
expectations Pistons, but like we'll see.
Thunder, I think, will do well because they didn't even have Chet last year, and they have Chet. And
Right.
then they also his name is like Casson or something. They have this really good rookie that played for them in the summer league that was good. Um, I legit just typed in Oklahoma Thunder, good player, summer league, and I promise you it'll come up. No, it did not. I thought it was. But anyways, when I remember it, I'll end up letting you guys know. But they had someone else that was with Chet that I was like, you know what? They're gonna be kind of straight. Um, that's
Yeah, they'll
him.
be all right.
Yeah, but so they have them. The Pistons are gonna do well, I think. They also have the Thompson twin, one of them,
Yeah,
who can
like that.
fly.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I
And
like Ivy. Cunningham's good. Weissman's there. I don't know what the hell he's gonna do.
yeah, well, yeah. They have like a lot of
Do
talent.
they have Bogdanovich?
Mm, yes, I think. They have a lot of talent, but it's a lot of like unproven talent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's all there, and I think Monty Williams is a good coach for that talent. But they just like everybody else, they gotta stay healthy, especially Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. Um, so I think again, talent's there, but gotta put some shit together. And they'll start the season off like 9-2, and then lose like 13 in a row, and all
You know they will. They
and the season,
will.
yeah, season will be over, and all whatever standard
So,
protocol.
Spur. Oh, so his name is Kassan Wallace.
Mm.
He's been doing solid as well. It was him and
Close.
Chet. Yeah.
You weren't even close.
So no, I wasn't.
Not even close.
And then after that, the Rockets, I don't really know what they're doing. Fred VanVleet just didn't want to be in the cold weather anymore. So he said, let me go the complete opposite. Dylan Brooks, he was going to go anywhere where he can get a paycheck. So, and and then the Spurs, I think they're a couple of years away from being good. Wemby does not look like the number one pick yet. And I think it's going to take some time. And then for him to say that, oh, it's not as physical in the NBA, I think you want to get roughed up. Like, I really think you want to get roughed up.
I also forgot that like he's never played in the U.S.
No,
Like he's never played with NBA rules.
no.
Like that just not even that didn't even like register in my mind. Like at least like, these guys who at least they play in the G League or like the Ignite, whatever the hell it is. Like at least they're playing NBA rules.
Mm-hmm.
Like Luca came over from there and like FIBA, like they were playing FIBA rules. So like they've never played NBA rules. So, like when he said like I have no idea what I'm doing out there, like, oh yeah,
I
that makes
believe it.
like
Yeah.
that. So, but he's still, I mean, he's still 7'6". Like you can't contest the shot. Like he's still, if he's not gonna be good on the offensive end, yeah, sure, he'll block 5 shots a game. So
Hmm.
like he'll be fine, but I think he needs a hot second to just get used to it. But when he does, I think he's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
There's that.
Yeah. So we're going to go into our favorite segment that's going to take up the remainder of the show, and that is the AFC West. We're not going to do the NFC West next week. I have some special things that I'll talk about next week, but the AFC West is this week. Just to give you an overview before I let Steven go. So we have the Denver Broncos, the champion Kansas City Chiefs, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Los Angeles Chargers. Thoughts? Any thoughts, X factors, players looking for? What do you have?
Sort of the Broncos. Just scanning the roster. Obviously, Russell Wilson, you know, he's fell off since he's been in Denver, but they haven't had, a solid team around him. They have a
Hmm.
ton of receivers though. Looking at their receivers, KJ Hamler's coming back from a torn ACL. My favorite name and maybe in the league is Lil Jordan Humphrey, receiver from Texas. Jerry Judy, we obviously know what he can do. Marvin
Have you
Mims,
seen his route running?
who Lil
Jerry
Jordan,
Judy?
Jerry Judy.
This man
So,
said little short.
guy, yeah, it's special. Yeah, it's special. He's quietly one of the better receivers that no one knows about. I mean, people know
Yeah.
about him, but you know what I mean. Marvin Mims, I think from Oklahoma, I love him. Cortland
Hmm.
Sutton, people forget about him. He's nice. They have a solid offensive line. Defense
Little Jordan.
is obviously what usually gets teams. It's either you have one or you don't. But they have a lot of names on that defense.
Hmm.
Um, just kind of scanning through. I think Nick Benito, another Oklahoma guy, linebacker,
Hmm.
was a big fan of him. Frank Clark, former Michigan great. Randy Gregory. Obviously they
Bro,
have
he is
Patrick.
still in the league.
Yeah, who? Randy Gregory.
Randy Gregory.
Been in. I just saw his name. 6 years. 6 years only. That's actually not as long as I thought.
But
Patrick.
he had like so many little issues.
Yes, and he was in the Cowboys. Yeah, a lot of them.
Yep.
Uh, Patrick Surtain, or sorry, Pat Surtain the second. Obviously one of the best DBs in the league right now.
Hmm.
At the tender age of
23.
23. Yeah. Um, Kareem Jackson been in the league for a minute, but good to have him there. Um, we'll go to the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't really actually. I'm just gonna skip the Chiefs because people know about the Chiefs, so like we don't need to go down that route anymore.
Hmm.
I think they're gonna win the division. I think by far. Shout out to the Chargers.
Shout out.
The Jersey, Herbert, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen. Been that way for a hot second. People are waiting for Justin Herbert to carry them. He's got talent, he's got the arm, but they're a very weird team, very inconsistent team.
They
Um,
should be so much better than what they are.
it should be, but they should be. They're like you know, they can win 11, 12 games or they'll win 6 or 7. So there's really
Yeah.
no Raiders, no more Derek Carr. Jimmy Garoppolo is now the guy. So we'll see how that goes. Your boy Amir Abdullah. That you were a
Yeah.
fan of him for a hot second.
I was.
Josh Jacobs, he's quietly running, climbing the rankings of the best running backs in the league. Devontae Adams, everyone says he's the best receiver in the league, runs the best routes in the
Hmm.
league. So there's that. Um, they have a good team, a good offense. Austin Hooper, OJ Howard at tight end.
Yeah.
Again,
Man, I thought he was going to be good, OJ Howard, when he
yeah,
came
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah. I did too. I was very disappointed in that. For sure. Him in Alabama, I thought he was going to be that guy.
Yeah.
Max Crosby, one of the better defensive ends in the league. Chandler Jones, obviously, we know what he can do. Um, Going through a little bit more. Robert Spillane, former Steeler great, my guy. They're it's like Jimmy G. All right, dude, like what do you got?
Hmm.
So I don't trust Jimmy G. I don't know why people are putting so much stock into him.
Bro, he
Like,
keeps getting paychecks.
yeah, right. Only in
Him and
only in
Brock Osweiler.
sports can you be average as shit and keep getting paid like that and keep getting a
Hmm.
raise. So I'm obviously going to go with the Chiefs to win the division. I think by far, I'm probably going to pick them to win the Super Bowl as well. Um, until someone does it, it's just like the Lakers and LeBron. I pick them every year, and
Yeah.
they've been knocked off, but obviously like that's different now. But like until someone goes along and really knocks the Chiefs off and like continues to like get to the Super Bowl like the Chiefs are, or like the AFC title game like the Chiefs are, I'm not picking against them. And they have the
Hmm.
best. They have the best player in the league, right? Mahomes.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
I would say that's hard to disagree with. So I'm gonna pick the Chiefs, but I think the other teams are gonna be better than expected. So hopefully
Hmm.
it's more competitive. If Russell Wilson can get his shit together, like I think the Broncos can be really good,
Yeah.
but he's gotta get his shit together. So I'm gonna go Chiefs.
So I'm gonna preface everything I'm going to say with saying the AFC is so stacked.
It
Like
is.
the AFC reminds me of the back in the day Western Conference in the NBA, where you knew they were about to have good records. Because I was going to start off by saying the
Me too.
AFC West might get two or three teams, but then you have to look at the AFC East, you have to look at the AFC North, and you don't really know who's going to end up getting those teams. The only guaranteed spot, unless Patty Mahomes gets injured, are the Chiefs in the
Yep.
AFC West. The Broncos, everyone thought they were going to make it last year. The Raiders, I don't think they're going to make it. I think they'll be better than what they were last year. The Chargers, for the sake of my pockets, I would love for them to make the playoffs, but I don't know. It's really tough. There's only two, maybe three teams that are able to make three teams that can make the playoffs from the wild card spot. I don't know if the Chargers are going to be able to do it. I do want to see if Quentin Johnson can make that leap so that you can essentially, they're trying to push out Keenan Allen. They really want to go with Mike Williams and Quentin Johnson down the road. Quentin Johnson at TCU. That's my thoughts on the Chargers. Chargers have a solid team, offense and defense. They also have Asante Samuel Jr. over there. The Raiders, this is kind of Devontae Adams' year to prove like I am still like the best receiver in the league because you have all these young dudes that are out there. They're going to prove that Josh Jacobs is looking for a paycheck. That's the other thing. We want to see if they're going to give that to him or not. Tom Brady also has like part ownership in some which way, shape, or form with the Raiders. Chiefs, I really want to see if Travis Kelce can continue being that person. Other thing, I don't think it'll happen, but pay attention to DeAndre Hopkins because DeAndre Hopkins is rumored to be waiting on a contract ish from the Chiefs. We'll see if that happens. The other team he's been in talks with are the Titans, and they showed us who else went to the Titans that were wide receivers. It was Julio Jones, Andre Johnson, and Randy Moss. First off, I didn't even know Randy Moss played on the
Yeah.
Titans. I
Forgot about
don't.
that. Good call.
I didn't.
Yeah.
So don't go to the Titans, DeAndre Hopkins. Go anywhere. The Broncos, they really should be the team that makes it to the playoffs. You have Sean Payton as well, but they kind of exposed ish what Russell Wilson can do. Like Russell Wilson has to take this team. It's not one of
Yeah.
those situations of other players can take them. It's really can Russell Wilson make that next leap? You have the receivers for it. I really want to see Jerry Judy. Of course, it doesn't mean anything, but make the Pro Bowl. I feel with time, if Russell Wilson's good enough, he can make one of the All Pro teams. That's just kind of like I've seen his body of work, what he can do. Cortland Sutton is not what people thought he was going to be. I remember last year they were like, "Oh, Cortland Sutton's going to be his favorite receiver." Cortland Sutton got injured, didn't do that much. Overall, I really think that it's going to be the Chiefs, and then my asterisk is going to go with the Chargers being able to make that leap into the playoffs again.
They have the
But I
best
don't
defense.
have, huh?
I think the Chargers have the best defense in that division.
Oh,
Both
easily.
Bill Mack, like their secondary, Derwin James. I really want Derwin James to be that guy. And he's close,
Yes,
but I think they have the best. They have the most talent
they have Khalil
defense,
Mack
especially
too.
the back. I mean, he's not
He's not who he was.
that guy. He's not that Khalil Mack, but he's like not that far off. And
No,
they have you mentioned Asante Samuel and Derwin James. They have two of the better
and
DBs in the
J.C.
league.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Like they
Yep.
have players to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to see if they can make it again. Just don't have that stupid shit happen in the playoffs. You cannot lose a lead like that to the Jaguars. It
Yeah,
can't happen. You
that's
can't
tough.
ever do that again. But that's all we have for this. What you got to end it?
Um, kids are tough, man. Kids are tough.
Yeah.
Um, like we were talking before we came on. I had to go in the office today for the first time in a long time. We had a new person come in. And then I went straight from work, came home, um, grabbed a quick bite to eat, went to the gym, ran in the heat, which was brutal.
Not how he does it.
The boy got a couple miles in. And then went from, ran, worked out, and then went to the pool. Daughter has team until 6:15. And then, little man wanted to swim. So I got in the pool with him for a hot second. It was hot still. And then we were at the pool. Like, you texted me, like, as we were home at like 8 o'clock. He's like, yo, are you here? Or are you in a new that's next week. But yeah, and you're like, how do you do all that? It's like, you don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what am I gonna do? Say no? Like, stay home?
Yeah.
No, not an option. And like, dinner, like I haven't eaten dinner yet. It's 9 o'clock. Like, I'm probably not eating dinner tonight. Might just grab like a bowl of cereal, call it a day. Yeah, it's just like, it doesn't happen. This doesn't happen. Like, we haven't eaten dinner as a family in months.
Mm-hmm.
We have baseball in May, soccer, swimming, gymnastics, whatever it is. Swimming is for another like 3 weeks, I think, and then August is like pretty clear. So your boy's gonna get R&R next week in Mexico. Pumped about that. Playing some golf down there. That's dope.
That's good.
$239 per person for 18 holes, a cart, food and beverage, and to and from the resort. So pumped about that. I'm turning the phone off. Everything is going to be off for a week. So jazzed about that. But yeah, kids are tough. I love my kids, but they're fucking pain in the ass.
Damn.
And I'm probably gonna go to sleep right after this.
See, all I have is fantasy football is coming up. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the regular season as well. Like, super hyped for that. College football, I'm excited for. Yeah, I'm way behind Steven because I'm gonna start probably doing golf lessons next month. But other than that,
Yeah, let's get it.
we out.
Peace.